With other organizations such as MFF, Anime, Twin Cities, MarsCon, VGMCon, and more, how should Minnesota Furs achieve our mission statement and still collaborate with our partners?
So collaborating, as in,
Work together with, partnership, achieving mutual interest goals.
okay. Honestly, I feel like MNFurs, we could possibly try to do more with said organizations. We could try doing like little meetups here and there. We could do possibly, well, like just like the meetups thing, little get-togethers for people of both organizations to try to bring everybody together a lot more.
Cool. Great. Uh, Working on the board sometimes means working with individuals that you may not personally get along with. What are some ways you would handle this?
Personally, I have had to do it with me being FM staff. Um, it is not something that I enjoy, but as a professional, on a professional standpoint, it is something that I must do, and I treat everybody professionally. So even if I have bad history with somebody in the community or something like that, it does not change how I'm going to treat you. If I'm currently on the clock and working, I'm going to treat you just how I would treat everybody else from a professional standpoint.
What is your understanding of your fiduciary responsibilities if elected to the board?
Um, Honestly, I have a full understanding of it. I know there's a lot that I am going to have to be responsible for if I get elected, and I am 100% willing to take up said responsibility. Um, there might be some things I will have to overcome regarding said responsibilities, but honestly, I have a full understanding of it.
What strategies would you use to ensure Minnesota Furs remains a welcoming and inclusive space, not just for its members, but also for members of the general public who interact with the organization?
Mostly making sure that anybody that is a non-desirable, somebody who likes to cause drama, somebody who spreads stuff, isn't one of the people that is fully out there and immediately welcoming somebody new into the community. I want to make sure that everybody who does come into the community or is curious about said community comes in with someone who has been here for a while and has a very good standing and knows how to actually welcome somebody into the community.
How would you ensure transparency and accountability to the members of Minnesota Furs?
Um, Personally, making sure that if just make sure that hey, set this person done so and so. Make basically just try to make sure that everybody is accountable for their own actions. Everybody is accountable for their own things that they do. So if they do something bad, they are accountable for that. If they do something good in the community, they will be recognized, but they are also accountable for that. Everybody is accountable for their own actions.
Nonprofit groups require funds to remain operational. What is your proposal on ways to provide more revenue streams for Minnesota Furs?
To provide more revenue streams, we could possibly try to hold little fundraisers throughout the year by doing certain events. I know some groups out here like to do like cook-offs or running events or something to bring the community together as a whole that people are willing to come out and be excited for and to see, especially during the wintertime when there is not a whole lot going on.
If elected to the board, how would you handle yourself publicly when and if approached by the general public wanting to know more about us, aka Minnesota Furs?
I would just explain to them in a professional standpoint what the community is, what we stand for, and how the community as a whole generally is. I would explain to them like how we are a very welcoming group and just take on a very professional standpoint on it.
Do you want a break?
Yeah, let me check my pizza real quick.
Sure.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's still cooking.
I bet it can't be dumber than how I cut my finger like
No,
a
what
month
pisses
ago.
me off is underneath my nail by quite a bit.
You know how
Fair
I
enough.
cut my finger? I was opening candy canes to crush them and put them in my cookies, and I was using a knife to cut the wrapper, and I sliced my finger open using a knife to cut open candy canes.
I cut my finger by fucking.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Ready?
About as rare as I'll ever be, yes.
Beautiful. As a volunteer organization, all of our staff are volunteers. What ideas do you have to prevent burnout for both in others and yourself?
Make sure that everybody is taking their breaks. Make sure that nobody is being overworked, because some people will try to go out of their way and just do overkill. And that is not what we want. We would rather have people take breaks rather than overwork themselves so that they don't get burnt out and are wanting to come back next year as staff again.
If elected, what are some of your goals that you want to accomplish with the organization over the next 2 years and why?
Probably would say I'd want to get better with the personally the Discord side of security, because I have noticed there are times where some people will be causing a lot of drama, or even at some meets in person, some people will sit here and cause a lot of drama or say a lot of stuff, but sometimes action or stuff isn't said. So probably work on getting it more out there.
What are your ideas for engaging with underrepresented groups within the Minnesota Furs community?
Underrepresented groups such as
It's kind of up for your own interpretation, but I guess artists of the group that maybe want some more art events, or furs that are up in the Duluth area that may feel underrepresented, or furs that are out on the west side of the state where they're just in Grand Forks, or not Grand
okay.
Forks. Yeah, basically that.
Yeah. Okay, so for that, honestly, would probably get together with them and try to listen to some of their ideas, because maybe they want to start their own little hold some sort of meetup or something like that, and we could try holding little meetups for them. We could not super broadcast them, but try to allow them to reach out a little more. Make them feel more represented, basically.
How do you define success for Minnesota Furs, and what metrics would you use to measure that success?
Honestly, I would feel like success for Minnesota Furs would be getting more people into the community that actually feel safe here and want to be part of this group full time, possibly wanting to staff at our events. And I would personally measure that success based on how many people actually come in, engage with everyone in the community, go to the events, and possibly end up becoming staff.
What inspired you to run for a position on the Minnesota Furs Board of Directors?
Well, I've been staff for fur immigration for a couple of years now, and I have a huge understanding whenever it comes to fur immigration and Minnesota furs as a whole. And just on the Minnesota furs side of things, I feel like I can do more. I feel like there's a lot more I'm able to do. So I felt like it was time for me to step up and try running for the board.
What scares you most about being on the board?
Oh Lord. Um probably just there really isn't much. Um I'd probably just say getting myself mentally ready and prepared for all the responsibility I'm about to take on.
Community questions, there are none. If Minnesota Furs were to create its own mascot to represent the organization to the general public, what kind of animal would it be, and what would its superpower be?
Honestly, I feel like a snow leopard would fit regarding we get a lot of snow up here in Minnesota. And just snow leopards are really, really nice animals. And they are definitely an eye catcher whenever people see one. Superpower wise, though, I'm not sure what that would be. Um,
Say the snow.
yeah, no, I actually don't know what the superpower would be. I don't think I got an
That's
answer
fine.
for that one.
You're done.
Cool.